Yo, what is up guys? And today we're going to be talking about if you guys should be pulling for Eligos as well as Lua on their banners. Now Eligos will be running for 2 weeks after today because he is a new unit. Lua will only be running for 1 week because she is a rerun and she's non-limited, so only for 1 week guys. You have just barely any time to pull for her, so you guys probably want to know what you guys want to do for your bookmarks. Now right off the bat guys, I'm just going to say Lua is definitely a must pull unit. She is one of the most broken, if not the most broken RGB 5-star unit in the game because of her kit. She's super good at resetting enemies cooldowns with her S3, and she also actually will give speed buff to your team. She will also have a chance to put an enemy to sleep, disrupting them. Very strong overall. You can think of a skill cooldown reset as kind of like a stun, because a lot of units, unless you're a super hard hitting damage dealer with a very powerful S1, will actually do very little damage with just their S1, and it's very good because it'll stop any other CC on the enemy side, even cleansing as well. And the best part about this is you can actually soul burn this to ignore effect resist, so this is a 100% chance to land. You just have to bring her with like a Tog of Hell's Ancient Book Holder in like Guild Wars or Arena Offense, and you can pretty much guarantee that you almost always win. Next, her S1 is a decreased defense, very powerful debuff in the game because it'll make it so that your damage dealing units can one-shot like even tanks, so very powerful overall. This unit, guys, super powerful in PvP. She is probably the best RGB unit right now. People are always asking for her nerfs. One of the most pre-banned units as well for World Arena. In PvE, she's not used at all, but she's just that powerful in PvP that even if you're newer to the game, I still definitely recommend getting her because of the fact that you will use her very quickly as soon as you get some decent speed gear. Now, you know, Eligos is a new unit and his kit might look very cool, but no matter how Eligos is, I can guarantee, you know, Lua is just always going to be better, because even though Eligos is unknown because he is a new unit, trust me guys, Lua is just so broken that, you know, you can never go wrong pulling for her. Now for Lua's artifact guys, Spatiotemporal Fan. Basically after you use a non-attack skill, you'll give stealth to the ally with the highest attack, except for herself. You'll also have increased effectiveness. This is very good because Lua wants effectiveness, and also because she can actually make it so that you have a guiding light on an ally, and there's no RNG if you max this out obviously, but if you don't have this maxed out, there is some RNG. So it is really up to you. I think this is only really good if you max this out, so maybe for whales. Otherwise, you know, you can use her on other artifacts. But for the most part, guys, like this artifact is pretty good on her because effectiveness is always just nice on her, because you definitely want her S3 to land a lot of the times, and her S1 as well, and her S2 actually. All of her skills have, you know, effects that benefit from effectiveness. Like I said, Lua is a must pull. I think her artifact, although pretty decent on her, not as, you know, powerful as the unit itself. Definitely pull for Lua, guys. I cannot stress enough, she's just so broken. Now for Eligos, guys. So honestly, Eligos is a new unit, so you definitely want to wait at least a few days, not just listen to what I say, because there are a ton of content creators out there. You definitely want to see what other people say about him and kind of collect the community perception and the idea about how strong he is, because, you know, people might after one day say he's super broken, but realize there are a lot of counters out there that you just haven't faced yet. But basically the way his kit works is he is a single target opening unit that does a lot of damage. His S3 has a 2-buff dispel, which can dispel like immunity buffs and barriers, also put decreased defense and target at 100% chance, and also CR push back the enemy by 50%. So very good at opening and disrupting enemy openers. And you also can soul burn this. Likewise with Lua's S3, if you actually soul burn this for 20 souls, you can, you know, ignore effect resist, which is very powerful. Makes it so that you can pretty much make a very tanky unit very vulnerable that is usually on high effect resist, such as like Angel of Light or even like DN or, you know, other units like that. His S2, guys, it is going to be that when an ally except for the caster defeats an enemy, you'll increase attack of Eligos and also activate Time Bomb, which will attack an enemy with a bomb and grant perception to the caster for 2 turns, and this will do a ton of damage. The Time Bomb will activate against the ally or the enemy with the highest attack, and you're also going to see that when the caster speed is greater than targets, you'll do even more damage. This hits super hard, by the way. Like, I've seen this hit like 27k in the preview videos, so very strong. Works very well with his S3 as well, because, you know, your S3 will make an enemy very vulnerable, and then you have an ally actually kill that unit, and then you activate Time Bomb right after. You don't even need Eligos to take another turn after his first. You just need to make sure the second unit that goes after Eligos kills that unit with that decreased defense and target, which is pretty much guaranteed because those are very OP debuffs. Next is S1, guys, point blank shot, very good. When the caster is granted perception, which activates from his S2, when you activate your Time Bomb when an enemy gets defeated, right, you're actually going to trigger a dual attack from the ally with the highest attack, and this will always scale with your speed as well. So as you can see, very good with speed. Only his S2 doesn't scale with speed, but you're going to want him to be fast regardless because you want him to take the first turn and then, just more damage. Eligos, guys, I want to say he's very good for aggressive players. He looks very, very strong. Just keep in mind that he is new, so people will definitely want to, wait for him to be tested out. But on paper, he looks very, very powerful, and for PvP, he'll definitely be at least like very strong, or at least strong, I guess, for Guild Wars offense and arena offense as well. Now, for his artifact, guys, an offer you can't refuse. Also, by the way, I don't think he'll be used in PvE that much because his kit is just mostly going to be for PvP from what it looks like. And offer you can't refuse, his artifact looks very good on him because it'll make all his skills penetrate defense, which is really, really powerful. And also, when you defeat an enemy with a single attack, which is basically going to be his S2 activating, you'll CR push an enemy, and there's no, or not an enemy, you'll CR push up an ally by a certain amount. And there's no cooldown on the CR push up, so you can just keep CR pushing up your team, so looks pretty good. I think all in all, this is a very good rotation of banners. Just to summarize, please pull for Lua. She's so broken if you don't have her. Her artifact is pretty decent on her as well. Eligos, you definitely want to wait for him to be tested out, but his artifact looks very, very good on him. So if you decide to pull for Eligos, definitely pull this artifact as well, or at least buy it with Powder of Knowledge rather. That being said, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.